All right, and spawning in the top right, our Canadian Zerg, it is cRoSs.
And on the top left, one of the best foreign Protosses of all time, it is Dewalt.
All right, let's see what Dewalt opts for. Will he play the same way? Will he play with the Gateway Opener? Is he going to play with Forge? We'll pretty much know from when he... Interesting placement of that pylon, so I think we're going to see a Gateway here. He'll just
that is kind of interesting. I feel like in Protoss versus Zerg, I'm normally used to seeing the pylon sort of built on top in a kind of SimCity where the pylon is like on the top and there's like a Gateway and Forge below it.
Yeah, so he'll put the Gateway and then the Forge to the left so that he can have a one gap wall there with the Forge on the left, the Gateway a little bit above it, and then it'll be just a one gapper between the pylon and the Gateway.
Yeah, but does that make this is this setup a little bit weaker to Hydra Bust because you can of course target down that pylon?
You can't target the pylon because you put a cannon above the Forge and it'll still reach them. So it's okay. Dewalt here is going to play 12 Nexus anyway. He's going Nexus first. So he's going to go 12 Nexus, 12 Forge, 13 Gateway, and really put the pressure on Dewalt a bit. I mean, cRoSs to do something because cRoSs is going overpool and will not be able to punish this.
Oh, that's a little bit unfortunate for cRoSs here. But, I mean, he has been going overpool so far in every game. So I feel like once you sort of become a little bit predictable in that way, then you know your opponent can sort of metagame you a little bit and take advantage of that.
Absolutely. cRoSs is going for it. He's not messing around. All right, he's pulling the drones. This is a counter with when you do have overpool. He can get the drones here to kill the cannons and block them. And if he does that, he will be able to win this game right away. But Dewalt puts down a Gateway first so that he can block it. And here we go. This is pretty much it. cRoSs will need to win right here or the game will end. And a really good block from Dewalt so far. These drones have not gotten on the cannon at all. It's going to be really close with the timing. Oh my goodness. He puts another Forge to fully block.
Oh my god. This is not looking good for cRoSs. Those drones going in there did absolutely nothing to sort of mitigate these defenses from, or to prevent these defenses from going up. But I mean, it delayed the Nexus, I guess, but the amount of lost mining time from that is just going to be too much.
Wow. And you saw Dewalt with that little slick look on his face like, I've done this before. I've seen this. I am experienced. If you think you're going to get these Zerglings in, you are mistaken. All right, and spawning in the bottom right, it is our red Zerg. It is cRoSs.
Going into this game with a 1-0 lead, feeling very happy with himself, it is our Protoss player, Dewalt. Man, that was such a crazy start to that last game. But, I mean, if that is the only way as Zerg, if you go overpool to punish that kind of greed from Protoss, I feel like at this point you need to start mixing up your build and going for something like 12 hatch or 9 pool at this point, right?
I mean, some Zergs play the overpool. They feel it's the safest against everything, so they just continue to do that. We see players like Sulky Soma appreciate that and just kind of continue to play it. Dewalt, I think, is going to do the same thing, man. I think he's anticipating that cRoSs is going to continue to play overpool, so he's just going to continue to do Nexus first. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. He pulled off a probe. Never mind.
Yeah, it looks like he's not going to take the chance this time around. So even though cRoSs not successful with his rush last time, I feel like Dewalt is sort of feeling like he can't just trust cRoSs to play as predictably as maybe he thought previously. So going for a little bit of a safer build this time around. A little victory for cRoSs in this second game.
Yeah, we'll see if cRoSs can get a good scout here, see what's going on. anticipate and prepare correctly. The 10 gate, no scout, very interesting here from Dewalt. I mean, I guess he's just kind of like, I kind of know what you do, man, so I'm going to continue doing what I do, maximizing his economy right now.
Yeah, going no scout as Protoss, I guess you're allowed to do that when you get your gateway early. But we do see that cRoSs does in fact scout the Protoss first. And I feel like judging, if you just like watch the from where the drone comes and goes from, you can almost just like figure out that, oh, okay, cRoSs is actually on the bottom right. So we see him already sending out a probe and a zealot to go get a little bit of harassment done. But if it was Overpool, of course, we see we'd expect the zealot to go back and try to defend.
Okay, very standard here from Dewalt. Right after the second zealot, he's going to take a base. He's going to figure out where this third hatchery is now. I'm probably going to see him put some pressure on once he has a couple of zealots. Oh, there go the two across the map right now, making sure that cRoSs is being honest and making some Zerglings.
Yeah, keeping the Zerg honest is definitely one of the most important things you have to do as Protoss. You can't just let the Zerg get away with making only drones in the beginning of the game, because their economy is going to become supercharged going into mid game. Oh, a bit of a clutch forge construction, I guess, warp from the probe, getting there just in time to not let the Lings in. So far, Dewalt is just playing a very, very clean opener.
Yeah, right now we're seeing some little dance that we normally see here, where you don't want to let the Zerglings in, but you don't want them to kill your wall, so you're bouncing back and forth. You're dancing.
A little bit of a tango going on between our two players. But apart from that, everything else seems to be very standard. Both players looking very even, just going through their build orders, playing mostly, just mostly standard and not too, nothing too weird going on at the moment.
Yeah, everything very standard here. cRoSs got to feel good. He didn't overmake Lings this time. He had to make extra. Dewalt didn't put the pressure. I'm wondering if we're going to see this 4 zealot move out like we saw with John Hoon when he was playing 10 gate. It appears like we will.
Yeah, in fact, it is going to be 5 zealots this time around moving across the map. This is going to force a ton of Lings out of cRoSs. And of course, he doesn't have the Ling count to engage Dewalt in the middle of the map. So I expect these zealots are going to actually cause quite a bit of chaos inside cRoSs's main base. If they can get themselves behind the minerals, tuck themselves in like that, then he's going to force a ton of Lings out from cRoSs. But they're actually going towards the third base here. They're going to get one Ling picked off, and these 2 drones, if they don't get evacuated, they could just die here.
Yeah, all right, good pull here. Ton of Lings made. I mean, Dewalt's got to be happy with this no matter what. As long as he blocks back at home and doesn't, oh my goodness, we're going to sneak the probe into. Really well done from Dewalt, making all the Lings go there, seeing what's going on. Citadel first here, but now scouting the Spire, so that might cause him to drop a double Stargate, which we see sometimes in this kind of build order.
Yeah. Going for Citadel first, like, that maybe in the original plan, that could have been like a Sairless build. I feel like I see Protoss going for no Corsairs, fast speed zealots a lot at the lower levels, but not really that much after, like, I guess S rank or something.
Yeah, at the higher levels, you really can't afford to skip, because Muta at that level just absolutely will destroy your army and kill your Templars, and you just lose the game. Those 5 zealots, though, I will say, did some serious damage in terms of forcing out Lings, forcing a cancel on a creep colony, traded effectively. Well done there from Dewalt, getting a good spot.
Yeah, that was well played, and sneaking the probe in, of course, allowing him to get a full scout off of exactly what the Zerg is doing, and allowing him to respond appropriately as well. Overall, just very nice, very clean play. He has zealots at home to defend any kind of counterattack that cRoSs might try to do. And also, the cannons are coming up as well, so the Muta harass shouldn't really do anything.
Double Stargate.
Oh,
Like
it is going to be double Stargate. So this is going to be interesting. We're going to see a ton of Corsairs come out for Dewalt. Potentially, like, the Mutas are just not going to really do anything this game.
Yeah, Dewalt's going to scout that the second gas is up, but, you know, not alarming all the way that it's going to be Muta. I think we're only going to see like a 5 Muta play here from cRoSs, like kind of just harass the lines, force out the cannon, Sarahs, all that. Wow, can he get this? I didn't think he'd get this Sarah out, but he just might.
Oh, the Mutas come in. Oh, one Scourge does in fact connect, and it only has 10 HP remaining. I think if the Mutas kept chasing that, he would have gotten the kill. But these 6 Speed Zealots are going to come out onto the map, but only doing a little bit of posturing, trying to force cRoSs to make a mistake, make a couple extra lings here. But overall, he is playing very safe, very defensive, getting his cannons up, getting his tech up as well. So overall, like, just making smart moves, or smart decisions coming out of Protoss here.
I guess Dewalt recognizing this isn't going to be Muta play, like looking at the gas time and everything, because he canceled that second Stargate. So now he's just producing out of 1 Stargate, knows this is just a few Muta, nothing crazy. So I guess he's going to play from there and just kind of try to play a more standard game here.
Yeah, very interesting out of Dewalt to just constantly be switching up his plans like that. Just doing a good job of scouting the Zerg, knowing exactly what he's up against and adjusting his plan accordingly.
Yeah, I think he's just kind of reacting. cRoSs much healthier this game in the drone count than he was in the whole series with John Hoon here. So I think he's feeling much better about going into this mid game. He's healthy. He's got the units he needs. Ooh, a little DT coming out, but I think cRoSs sees the blur.
Yeah, he's sort of he's sort of chasing the DT, even though he can't technically see it with the Mutas. But he was doing a little good job of sort of shadowing it. But unfortunately, he does lose track of it. But at this point, he should know that a DT is on the way, and Overlords should be in position by the time it gets there.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see much damage from this DT. I think Dewalt just kind of using it to scout, see if he can check. Maybe waits for the Hydra armor to move out, then try to get somewhere. So, ooh, still got some hits on it, but saves it, just going to get it out.
This is interesting. We're seeing a very, very different playstyle come out of Dewalt here against cRoSs. Maybe something that cRoSs is a little more used to playing against. John Hoon, like, the contrast is actually pretty significant. John Hoon putting on a ton of pressure with Zealots, not afraid to just send them everywhere. But I think Dewalt here is going for a much more powerful push a little bit later in the game.
We even see that cRoSs is looking to take top right? Like, this will be the earliest 4th he's taken almost in this series.
Yeah, that 4th base is going to come in handy later in the game, but he needs to be able to defend it first. And a whole bunch of Speed Zealots are running out onto the map. I feel like if Dewalt can spot that the 4th base is going down on the top right-hand side, he should be able to kill it.
I don't think he can kill it yet. He doesn't have the sizable army enough. It's kind of hard to walk on the map just with the he's going to run around, though, and kill it. But if he were to engage this army right now, I don't think he would be able to get a kill here. This is where this gets tricky. These storms, Zerg knows they're coming, so he's going to sit there and kind of bait them out, wasting the energy, but he doesn't know about top right, but he is going to mid right with a whole bunch of Zealots. Oh, boy.
Well, cRoSs's army is a little bit out of position. These Zealots are going to get a lot of free shots off from the beginning. The Corsairs also come in, and they're going to start hammering away at these Overlords, and the Evo Chamber goes down as well. Potentially canceling an important upgrade out of cRoSs, and the hatchery goes down as well. This is kind of a disaster for Zerg.
Yeah, it's a big deal. I know we're losing 12 Zealots, but to get the hatchery and the upgrade for +2 canceled, really going to slow down cRoSs here. And now we're looking to get more Overlords. Oh, this DT, though, is walking back into vision. Not a good idea from him. But, maybe it is, because he's going to pull the Hydra away.
Oh man, my god, all these Overlords are getting clumped up. We could potentially see...
Oh my goodness,
another
Zealots are here.
Down again. Oh my god, the Hydra's doing a good job of defending, but the Zealots come in and Okay. He defends it. Oh, but not before a good amount of overlords go down anyway. He still supply blocked, not quite as badly as he was against Jonhun, but still in a much better position than he was.
Yeah, right now, oh, here comes a drop now. Maybe some Templar to storm the drone line. The pressure now in the mid game here, all of a sudden amping up. Dewalt posturing forward, but like a double storm though. That was 3 storms that came out, 4 or 5. So cRoSs will know, but at the natural, here goes this drop potential, maybe.
Yeah, I was expecting Templar to come out, but I don't really know what's going on. Maybe an empty shuttle there. It was just a sort of bait out a mineral pull.
It was fake.
But yeah, unfortunately, those storms out on the middle of the map not doing nearly enough for the energy that they cost. This is going to put cRoSs at a little bit of a disadvantage here.
He's picking up this DT, and he's going to clear more overlords out and let the DT try to wreak some havoc again. Look at this play by Dewalt. Dewalt really hitting the economy here. Wow, gets another couple overlords, but you know what? He's like, that's fine, I know you're distracted, and because you're distracted, there's a DT that's killing your probes or drones at the natural. The drone, he has no idea it's in the natural.
Are we for real? That is insane, but cRoSs does get the snipe on the observer, so this is going to delay this push by quite a bit. But this DT is left completely unchallenged, wiping out an entire mineral line. Oh my god, what a disaster.
Yeah, this is tough right here. It's going for more. Oh my goodness. 23, 24, 25 kills. Unbelievable there for Dewalt. And now he's pushing forward and killing these lurkers here. cRoSs gonna have a hard time as this goes forward. I mean, how is he gonna fight this army? He's lost all of his lurkers. He lost drones. He's got to be making Hydra, and this is where it gets tricky for Zerg. It's really hard. He has to make units, but he has no economy. Coming in from multiple ways, and there's the GG. Dewalt is going to take this game as well. Wow.
Oh, an unfortunate loss for cRoSs. I feel like he was doing really well for most of the game up until the DT landed in the natural. Of course, excuse me, as Zerg, you don't actually get the notification for when DTs.
Okay, and here we go. We have to make a re here. It seems that cRoSs had some bug with his mouse. He couldn't move it around. So we are coming back to the desk with us for 2 seconds while we remake the game. That's unfortunate.
That's really unfortunate. My heart goes out for cRoSs right now. It just seems like nothing is really going his way at the moment. The mouse doesn't work. There was bad latency in the early part of the series. Hopefully, everything gets fixed the next time around, and we'll get to see another good game.
Yeah, we'll see here. Hopefully, no more problems. Seems like his mouse is back working. So, cRoSs gonna get ready for this next game. Hopefully he can just stay focused and say, all right, I'm gonna play my game, I can win. This is my map pick, this is where the comeback starts. I'm gonna win this game on Dominator, then I'll worry about the rest of the series. If he could do that, I think he'll be able to slowly pick it away. Win the first game, then worry about the second, and then once you get to the final match, you get there and you're good to go.
I mean, if cRoSs pulls out like a reverse sweep here, that would be incredible indeed. Like, that would really prove.
All right, our players are ready. cRoSs has fixed his mouse. Let's get into this third game finally here with Dewalt and cRoSs. All right, and spawning Hop Center, it is Dewalt.
And on the right-hand side, looking for that reverse sweep, it is cRoSs.
All right, we'll see what cRoSs does do. See if he gets a little trickier, a little different, if he's going to continue. Ooh, Zero showing us a little base here, a little craziness. We love it. you could see the creep from when you're walking over. So if Dewalt were to want to scout both bases, he could do that.
Yeah, I mean, the probe is currently going in that direction. We're going to see if he does, in fact, pull that trick off. That is actually very interesting detail about this map. And there he goes. The probe comes in, gets to the little corner and sees the creep. Wow, wow, that is an... I like that trick. I got to use that in my games from now on.
Dewalt going to be playing with the Forge here. cRoSs mixing it up here. Not going to have oh my goodness, could anything else go wrong for him? He's gonna finally go with the hatch first, and sure enough, there is a probe here to block it, forcing him to make a pull first. Just, oh my goodness, cRoSs cannot catch a break today.
Really, this is really painful. But
and what's really painful about this is that now that he knows that he was going to go hatch first, and he's going to be pretty much making a 12 pool instead, he can just go Nexus first.
Yeah, and we see Dewalt responding perfectly there. And this probe is still blocking this hatchery location, just like forcing cRoSs to pull another drone. Just a lot of things going wrong in the early game for him. Oh, man. We're going to see if cRoSs can really pull it back once again.
Yeah, I mean, another kind of unfortunate start here. Dewalt just abusing this little map trick and then getting the probe up there. Poor cRoSs, man. Of course, he didn't go overpool this time, so it really hurts him. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, behind this, Dewalt going for Forge instead of Gateway, opting to play safe. I mean, if you start the game off with this kind of advantage, like, playing it safe is just the right option.
Yeah, and we see only 2 lings this time from cRoSs because he knows that it was a Nexus first, then a Forge, so everything is good here.
Yeah, both players allowed to play a little bit greedier this time around, and a third base goes down as well for cRoSs. Of course, if you can scout that your opponent goes Forge first, you can, of course, put down that third hatchery.
Here we go. We're just trying to do the little dance of the lings and the probe. Got to keep this probe alive. Want to get back in. Want to see if he's making that Hydra den out of nowhere. 2-hatch Hydra. There was a match earlier this year where it was Nation Wars with Dewalt and cRoSs went 2-hatch Hydra on this map and busted Dewalt. So might be in Dewalt's mind right now.
Yeah, unfortunately that cRoSs not able to stop the scout from going in. Dewalt is going to be able to see everything. He sees the gas being put down, and he sees that there are quite a number of drones at the mineral line. But cRoSs being a little bit sneaky, actually putting the layer in the natural. Dewalt is not going to be able to see that until he comes back, but he does see it eventually. So it's a little bit of a later spotting, but he still gets the full scout off. So still very good for Protoss.
Yeah, he's going to get the full scout, knows everything that's going on, you know, playing really well here to Dewalt. We're going to see him get his Stargate up pretty quickly, right? Gonna get started before the layer's done, so he's doing a good job so far, hitting his timings, doing what he's got to do here.
A number of lings, though, being built from for cRoSs, and Dewalt does, in fact, see that pop out with his scouting probe. So Dewalt's still like, dude, the way he's just like keeping this probe alive, he just sees literally everything. He's playing so well this game.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We want to keep this probe alive. Now he knows not to move out right now, right? He's saying, okay, I see that I made a lot of lings. I don't need to send myself to death. I know what's going on. There's nothing tricky happening here. So both players playing extremely, extremely standard.
Yeah, the Stargate, of course, going down for Protoss, as well as the Citadel, and the probe coming back up into the natural, going to spot the Spire as well. So even though it goes down immediately afterwards, and not before it sends out one last piece of crucial information back to their Protoss commander. So that probe, kind of an MVP to start off.
Yeah, let's see. It seems like cRoSs is poking in, looking, and trying to see what he can do, but this is tight right here. Nothing gonna happen. cRoSs should maybe lose one Overlord here if Dewalt flies around. Oh, he's actually, because he's got such a good scout, he's just looking for the Overlords over here, trying to get multiple. but cRoSs doing a good job putting in a different path.
Yeah, I think cRoSs realizes that his Overlord is endangered, but unfortunately it crosses path with this Corsair, and there's nothing really for the Zerg to stop it from going down. Luckily, though, I think he should really be able to. He shouldn't really get supply blocked from this.
Yeah, he knows that losing one is not the worst in the world. I think we're gonna see a 1-1-1 leg timing here with +1 air weapons, +1 attack, and leg speed. So cRoSs should recognize that this is coming. Get prepped for it. Ooh, Scourge coming out. Can he get these?
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Well done. So getting the Corsair is actually kind of huge for Zerg. Because no full scout going to be available for Dewalt here. cRoSs a little bit free to do as he pleases. But we see the tech does in fact finish for ProToss.
A little movement going on. Leg speed should be kicking in. +1 kicking in. 7 minutes. Gonna get a good timing here. No Hydra out. Only Lings. Here's the first couple. They have speed. Probably not range yet. And this might get a little tricky. There's no sunken here. And Dewalt picks off the first Hydra, and now he's moving in.
Yeah.
Not a lot of Zerg units here to help.
This is some decent positioning from cRoSs, but he's going to take a ton of damage here. The 4 Zealots going to ignore the Hydras in the natural, go straight into the main. Meanwhile, a DT is on the way as well. Dewalt really cranking the pressure up to 11 this time around, forcing the drones to get pulled. But cRoSs should be able to defend these 4 Zealots, but remember that DT is still coming across the map, and we all know how deadly DTs could be.
Okay, he had Hydra. So the Zealots are just there to distract again, but he does have other Hydra there. He's able to pick it off, so well done there from cRoSs. He should be feeling good. Supplies much closer than the last couple games here so far in the mid game. So cRoSs playing well, getting his economy up, getting in the Hydra. We got like a 5 hatch plus a speed overlords, looking for a little timing, but Dewalt looks ready for this. We did see last time Dewalt took a decent lead in this map, and then cRoSs did a quick drop, and the drop ended up killing Dewalt. So I wonder if he's looking for something of the same again. If he gets a 5 hatcheries, gets quick drop, avoids the cannons in the main, and then goes for it that way.
Yeah, that last DT drop was, of course, devastating. I think cRoSs is going to be a little bit wiser this time around. He is going to be on the lookout for that kind of sneaky play coming out of Dewalt, but I could totally see him try it again. I mean, if it worked that well the first time, well, you know, the other thing about it is that the drop was very low commitment as well. Only 1 shuttle and 1 DT, and coming out, and of course, on top of just like potentially doing a ton of damage, like it also sort of taxes the APM and it taxes the attention of the Zerg as well.
Absolutely. I'm more worried about what I was saying is I'm more worried about the Zerg drop on Dewalt. Like last time, that was what happened to him as well. That was the tricky part, because what happens is ProToss moves out in the middle of the map, Zerg sits behind their defenses with some lurkers, and a major drop in the main can really kill a ProToss player off.
Oh,
gotta be careful.
Yeah, that is definitely something to look out for as ProToss. We see a small group of units sort of sneaking about for Dewalt here, going to spot this hatchery in the middle of construction, forcing a cancel. This is a great victory for ProToss here, and going to spot these overlords moving out in the middle of the map as well. Oh my god, this is not looking too good for Zerg.
Dewalt really doing a good job denying vision here from cRoSs, right? Killing all these overlords, not letting him know where his units, and that allowed him to get that Zealot run by again here. So Dewalt doing a really good job of keeping cRoSs at bay. Not enough Hydra here. He's got the retreat. Yeah, I was gonna say, don't take that fight. We have more Zealots than Hydra.
Yeah, if there's more Zealots than Hydra, we all know who's gonna win that. And look at the positioning from Dewalt, just securing that high ground there. But this should be enough Hydras to be able to push this back. cRoSs going to take a little bit of space on the map, but at this point, Dewalt already has goons out and he has Templar with Storm. So cRoSs is going to have to be a little bit careful with how he moves his army around the map.
Absolutely, he's going to be very, very careful. We see cRoSs is a little bit more aware that these Elves are kind of running all over the place, and he's blocking their paths here. It'll be a big win if he can get these for free. While he's pulling them over here, though, we do have another DT drop coming in. So he's like, that's great. Chase away all my Zealots, man. I'm going to kill all these Overlords. And then I'm going to drop a DT in. Oh! I think cRoSs is aware that it's coming. Yes, he is.
Yeah, he knows.
He knows. He's like, all right, this is suspicious. Oh, my goodness. Is he going to get another cancel on this hatch? Yes, he is.
Unfortunately for cRoSs, the DT actually, and we see a little bit of the opposite going on from last game, where this time around it was the DT that distracted cRoSs, allowing Dewalt to sneak in some Zealots to do some damage. It's not going to be quite as effective as it was last game, but of course damage is damage. Nonetheless, it is going to give Protoss another edge in this game.
Yeah, supply is pretty close here, right? So I think Dewalt's looking to try to end it with these attacks here, because we're getting that 13-minute mark. He's going to need to drop a Nexus or two here to be able to catch up once the 13-minute mark hits. We're going to try again here with this DT drop too. We're dropping Nexuses, DTs, who knows what else.
Yeah, Dewalt is really showing off his multitasking, showing off the way that he can put down pressure and crank it up to 11 against Zerg here. But we see he's also posturing his army, moving out and taking a ton of space in the middle of the map. cRoSs actually did a little bit of a tech switch.
Muta switch because he killed some of the Ser. He's killed all the Ceramos. He's going to have a really hard time defending his Templar here, as cRoSs now has these Muta on the map.
Yeah, these Mutas are actually going to spot this base as well. They could even get a cancel. That would be a huge victory for the Zerg. The Protoss army scrambling to get back here to defend this base, but unfortunately, they're not going to come back on time. Cancel gets forced, and the Zerg must be walking like that. Almost makes these Mutas worth it just on its own.
Absolutely. Absolutely, that canceling, that's great. And he's, like I said, he's not going to be able to defend his High Templar. Well, that's why you see him making more Ser. But cRoSs's macro really hitting his stride. He's been under 100 mineral nonstop. If Dewalt goes now, though, he may have a window only because the lurkers are not that many and not set up right now. I see one lurker done. Oh, there we go. Okay, there's the other 4 or 5, but he's got to get these. Oh,
Dewalt is trying to push up against this high ground. The storms are kind of huge.
Oh, snipes that Templar with the... Oh my god, big storms. Another big storm.
cRoSs doing a good job of sniping the Templar, but not before huge storms go down. But it looks like it is going to be enough for him to hold this high ground. These Dragoons are being pushed back. But he's still not out of the woods yet for Zerg. This is still an incredible amount of Dragoons. cRoSs's army still looking very, sorry, not cRoSs, Dewalt's army still looking very, very scary, but it is just so hard to push up these little high ground pizza slices on Dominator.
Yeah, we see Dewalt trying to run some Zealots by, but it's being held. I mean, it was a good pullback. He did lose all of his Templar, which hurt because it's going to tax your gas. The one Lurker Spine was able to kill off a couple Templar there in one shot, or else I think that fight would have been even closer for cRoSs. But Dewalt taking a third, I think we're going to see him just push into a fourth as well.
Yeah, the Zerg really trying to put some aggression himself. This Overlord, I think, only there to sort of scout and spot to see what kind of, how many, maybe count gateways or just see if Protoss is really doing anything sneaky, going for any kind of late game tech. But yeah, I think cRoSs really defended that well, and now he's in a much stronger position, able to sort of move around the map a lot more aggressively.
Absolutely. We see, man, cRoSs made a whole bunch of Overlords, so he's looking at macro, because he was like 117 of 159, so he's looking just to get some macro rounds going, and we might see a counterattack here.
Yeah, unfortunately for cRoSs, though, his army is a little bit split up. These Hydras could be vulnerable if Dewalt catches them, but it could also be an excellent setup, you know, for a counterattack. But Dewalt does, in fact, see it, and he's pulling his army back. I think he could be going for some kind of envelopment here. Gonna try and catch these Hydras on the retreat. I feel like cRoSs's army could be like cornered here, but he does in fact see DeWalt on the other side of the map. He does in fact kill this base that was, I don't know if it was already under construction, but he does deny it for Protoss. Unfortunately, these Hydras are not going to live here.
Yeah, these Hydras are going to try to trade pretty as effectively as they can with the Dragoons and try to pick them off. Oh my goodness. We're donating a couple lurkers as well. Oh my goodness. DeWalt ready on this ramp. cRoSs trying to hit a whole bunch of areas at once. Now that he knows DeWalt's army is in the left side of the map, trying to get it contained on the main here, but the army's coming back, and DeWalt's army is crazy big still with good upgrades. Can cRoSs hold this high ground together? Let's see. Oh my goodness,
God,
he cannot. I don't even have to see. It's already over with that attack. That attack is down. cRoSs goes sub 100 supply. DeWalt just continuing to power. Not putting on any crazy pressure. He was like, hey, you're on 4 bases. Doesn't know about the 5th, but I'm about to be on 4 bases, so I'm okay with just continuing to sit here and push through.
Yeah, unfortunately, splitting that army up into those 2 different groups, not paying off for cRoSs. DeWalt is able to sort of trap one of the armies on the left-hand side and defeat both of them in detail. So now all of a sudden the momentum swings back to Protoss, where now DeWalt finds himself back in the lead, and it's sort of up to cRoSs to see if he can trade effectively.
Yeah, cRoSs going to have to do some defending and sitting here. He's taking bottom left, which is a big deal. He needs to get that up. He needs to defend. But DeWalt has been very content letting cRoSs put some pressure on in the middle of the map and then trying to wipe the army. Like, he is not felt anything too crazy about, like, oh, I got to, you know, make a big move. He's just like, I'm just going to sit here, kill all your Hydra over and over and over again, and I'll just kind of take my lead from there.
Yeah, those storms cleaning up that small group of Hydras there. Every single engagement on the map has just been like, the army sizes that get wiped out are like kind of small, but every victory for Protoss just means less units to fight against when he pushes up here. This time around, I feel like Zerg just isn't gonna have enough units to stop it.
Yeah, we see that he's getting really thin with this army count here. Is cRoSsy. I think DeWalt wants to pressure more because he knows that he's transferring into Lings here, so Hive Tech he's assuming must be done. Which we know it is, we've seen it, so he's pushing through here, but not going to be able to get enough done yet, and he's got the back up. So a good hold there from cRoSs, but he doesn't need to go down, man. He can just sit there and take this win of the trade.
Yeah, Protoss, even if he doesn't bust through this position here, is still in an amazing spot. He's on 4 bases compared to the Zerg's 5, and you know, despite like sort of getting pushed back the first time around, he does find himself once again on the high ground. Big storms coming down on these Hydras, but he does in fact get pushed back in the end, but not before trading like really well.
I don't think it was a great trade for him. He was up 50-60 supply. Now he's only up 20. So I think we trade out a lot of gas units there. I think that DeWalt isn't going to be happy with that trade. His main and natural are mined out. I think he's going to go back to sitting a little bit and try to take some bases again, because now Zerg is going to be on Hive Tech. They're going to have Swarm. We can't keep trading ineffectively. I think that's what cRoSs wanted. He wanted him to come up into these areas and attack, and finally DeWalt bit, and now it's a problem.
Yeah, you always got to be careful going up the hill like that. It did seem like cRoSs's numbers were very, very thin, but he reinforced it quickly, and his macro still as strong as ever. So now cRoSs in a much stronger position than he originally was, but he has to be able to defend this space against DeWalt's potential counterattack.
I think DeWalt just did a little feint there. He faked like he was going bottom left. cRoSs moved all of his stuff, and now he's going to this bottom middle base 6 o'clock, and he's going to push in here saying, all right, I know your army's down there, so let's get after it, because anytime you have to force the lurkers to move more and more, the better off you are, right? Like, these lurkers have to come in here and spread and burrow. We see a counterattack happening at mid left.
They do, in fact, burrow on time. But, oh, big storm coming down on the mineral line here. So even if he doesn't kill this base, which he still might, he gets a lot of economic damage down onto the Zerg.
Yeah, he kills drones here. I think we're actually going to get this base. Oh, cRoSs looking. Oh, 2 free Templar. 2 free Templar. There you go, cRoSs. Take those.
Move command.
Don't hug them. Kill them. And cRoSs GGing out here. And that will be the 3-0 for Dewalt. And he will be advancing in the loser's bracket. I was surprised we saw a GG there, but cRoSs must have felt like, okay, you already got your 3rd and 4th. I'm losing my 5th base. What am I going to do here? So he decided to GG out.
That was definitely a tough position for Zerg to be in. Taking so much economic damage on that 4th base. So he was definitely in a disadvantage there. But yeah, that's I guess that's gonna be it. An unfortunate series of losses for cRoSs, but the truth of the matter is both Protoss players just absolutely incredible, playing like completely clean games. Like it's hard, it's tough to beat that.
Yeah, no, both John Hoon and Dewalt played really well today. cRoSs, also played well. He made it really far. Being one of the final players here in the event, right? Top 6 is an incredible feat for him. So congrats to him for making this far. Unfortunately, this is where his journey will end. But I think John Hoon making it to the winner's bracket final, Dewalt making it to the loser's bracket semifinal. Good day for anyone who is a Protoss fan.
Yeah, a lot of strong Protosses really showing how to play this game. This is going to be very exciting to see who's going to advance next into the winner, and advance next to play John Hoon and Dewalt in the next stage of this tournament.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, the good news is that even though today those are the matches we have, tomorrow we have the other winner bracket semifinal and then the loser bracket quarterfinal, where we have some more Titans getting into it. Tomorrow we have Mihu versus Bonnet. That's going to be a serious series right there. And then the loser of that will square up against Ziki to see who will have more life in this tournament and who will not.
Wow, that is a little bit of a group of death if I've ever seen one. If like Mihu, of course, probably the best foreign Terran right now, and Bonnet, arguably one of the best foreign Protosses as well. Like I feel like these 3 players are just like the top performing players of their race.
Yeah, these are some of the best in the scene for sure. I mean, we start off with the crazy matchup with Bonnet versus Mihu, man. That's going to be some series.
That's sick.
It's going to be epic. So thanks for tuning in today to this series. Please tune in tomorrow to the next series. But before we go, let's make sure we thank all of our Patreons and sponsors for this event so far, for everyone who's been donating, either straight donations or the monthly. We really appreciate you. At the Wolf of Wall Street letter, we have Andrew. Bombastic General is My Fleeting Dream. Bombastic Colonel Striker. Bombastic Major, we had Tim and Tupacalypse. And Bombastic Major, we have Yu Zhang, Medino, Stephen Robertson, Kaju Streaming Channel, Daniel Lopez, LML, Nicholas Scholler, Scheming Gypsy, at the $15 level, Pierson. Thank you, everyone, for those who sponsor to help Zero keep these amazing events going, where we get to see some of the best StarCraft out there. So thank you for tuning in. Please make sure you tune in tomorrow. It is going to be some epic, epic games. And I thank you once again. RiceHat, thank you to you.
Yes, thank you to you as well. Thank you to all the viewers who are tuning in, watching, and of course, everybody helping keep the greatest game in the universe alive for everybody.
All right, everyone. Thank you. We'll see everyone right back here tomorrow.